All right, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the whole team at Jazz Real Estate, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us here today, and we welcome you to the auction at number 2 Settler Court in the lovely suburb of Werribee. To all of our bidders and buyers, I wish you all the very best with your bidding endeavours here today. My instructions to you are quite simple. That is to bid bold, bid aggressively, give it your absolute best before you call it quits today to give yourself every opportunity to be that lucky and successful buyer here today. I'm sure you're somewhere in the crowd, so to you a slightly early congratulations is in order for your wonderful purchase. And what a wonderful purchase it will be for you and your family, I'm sure of it, for the many, many years to come. Now, of course, I'd like to take the time to thank our vendors as well, very, very much as well, for not only entrusting myself to be the auctioneer, but also the entire selling team at Jazz Real Estate for selling what is arguably their most prized possession. Of course, your listing agent is none other than Jazz himself, supported by the team here. We've got Sonam as well, so if you've got any questions about the property or need any support with your bidding endeavours, make sure to flag down any one of those two, and they'll happily come to your aid. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I will quickly cover the rules and regulations of an auction. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit the auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, as your auctioneer will be indicating bidders on a request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders from attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it will issue fines for misconduct. The rules do permit vendor bids. The words I will be using to indicate I am placing a bid on behalf of our vendors is simply vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can place those vendor bids. Now, the settlement terms that we're asking for here today are as preferred between 30 to 45 days. If you've had any prior arranged terms and conditions discussed and our vendors have agreed to those terms, then you're more than comfortable to be bidding on that basis. We're also going to be asking you for a 5 or 10% deposit if you are that lucky and successful buyer. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be made available to the trust account of Jazz Real Estate by bank check or bank transfer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the boring stuff out the way. Let's talk about the exciting opportunity here at number 2 Settler Court in Werribee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a stunning opportunity here and a lot of value add opportunity in this particular home. The location is superb, and so that's why you want to look at a home like this. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and a multitude of car spacing opportunity underpinning your prospective purchase of 530 square metres of prime Werribee soil. Ladies and gentlemen, the home itself, the layout is superb. You've got connected kitchen, dining and living areas that seamlessly transition into that outdoor area. Of course, clean that up and grow out some landscaping and plants, and that will be a very, very lucrative area and very lovely area for you to entertain friends and family out there, because it connects very well to that kitchen dining area. Very shaded as well, so you can also use that in all sorts of seasons. Melbourne is typical for the unpredictable weather, so whether it's sunny and very beautiful like today, or it's rainy or a bit of cold, you can actually make use of that outdoor space. Of course, you've got the front and backyard area as well. That's going to make for very, very nice, simple living. Ample storage all throughout the home and lovely windows that allow for natural light to jump into the home. Very convenient and located in the heart of Werribee as well. Literally around the corner from parks, reserves, playgrounds, and much, much more. Shops, you've got Werribee Pacific and also Werribee Village to make use of all of those shopping needs there. Buses down on Tarneit Road, Werribee Station just a short drive from this location as well. Schools, public, private, primary and secondary. And of course, access to all the major roadways and freeways to take you anywhere that you'd like to go in metropolitan Melbourne. So ladies and gentlemen, a long, long list of reasons to buy here. I can only add one more, and that's that we've just had the RBA cut the interest rates, and that's only going to bring more and more demand into the marketplace. So ladies and gentlemen, if anything, you've just missed the very, very bottom of the market. We are seeing much more demand come into the property market, so perfect time to close the book on your real estate journey. Ladies and gentlemen, going to hand it over to you now for your spiritual bidding. Who would like to get the auction underway? Another bid, 480. We agreed about that before the auction because you took a couple of those mandarins. They were very, very popular with all of our inspections here. $480,000. Let's go, a $10,000 rise on top. Take me to 490, if you will. 490. Now 2 bidders actively fighting it out. Let's go straight to 500 if you like. At $490,000. 500, and welcome back to the lead at $500,000. Would you like to go 510? 510 and quickly. 2 active bidders, 520. 520 and 30 if you like. At $520,000, a nod of the head yet. 530 and 40 if you will. At $530,000 out to my left-hand side. Happy to see you back in at 540 and welcome. At $540,000, would you like to go straight to 550? Bits there if you like. What about a 5 on top? The shake of the head. We're calling it quits. At $540,000, I'd suggest a big bold bid straight to 550 if you will. Happy to accept the 5s as well. Great news for you. They're already shaking their head. At $540,000 out to my right. If you'd like 545, what do you say? A quick bid's a good bid. At $540,000, a very resolute no at this stage. And Jazz, of course, working with our online bidder as well at $540,000. So, let me know if you've got any interest out that way. We're seeing shakes of the head there as well. Great news for you. Ladies and gentlemen, across the road as well at $540,000. I'm going to call it 3 times. 45. Now 3 bidders actively fighting it out. And Jazz, perhaps a good time to get some instructions as well. $545,000. Let me know if you'd like to go 550. At 545 across the road. And welcome to the auction, by the way. Good luck to you guys. And that could have been your bid as well. They've taken it away. I know you want to call it quits as well. I don't quite believe you just yet. I'll happily welcome you back into the auction at 545. What do you say, guys? Getting some instructions from inside as well. Makes no sense to back away. $545,000. Plenty more value in this home. At $545,000, you buy it for the location. At $545 now, need to know, Jazz, how are we going inside? I'm going to call it 3 times now. First call at $545 across the road, and good luck. Second call at $547. We will take it, and we're back in it now. And you had it in you all along. $547. Happy to go the 2s, but how about we just round it off to $550? At $547, of course, they had the opportunity to go there as well much earlier on, and they've chosen to take the scenic route. At $547, either way, happy to enjoy the view. At $547 now. Thank you very much for that. We're clearing the way for our cars coming through. You've got to be friendly to the neighbours because you might be moving in next to these guys. At $547, very white pearly smile as well, by the way. At $547, what would you like to do? Surely you're not in it just for a single bid. At $547, of course, Jazz still getting some instructions from inside. Is that $550? $550, great bid now. At $550,000, how are we going out this way and here? 3 active bidders, by the way. I'm counting you guys still in it at this stage. At $550,000 across the road, Jazz, instructions from our vendor. We are on the market and selling. No better bidder offer, ladies and gentlemen. We congratulate our new owners, front and center of the auction. At $550,000 now across the road, selling. No better bidder offer. Happy to take any other bid on top, by the way, at $550,000. Otherwise, we put our hands together across the road. Yeah, we'll take 500, 550 and a half. 550 and a half. You can do the 500s as well. I don't mind. At $550, 500. Of course, $500 doesn't buy you a whole lot these days, but of course, if it buys you 2 Settler Court, why not? At $550,500. What do you say? I would do a big, bold bid. Yep, 51. At $551, and if I heard correctly on the phone bidder is out as well. Great news. Once we call it quits, once you tell me you're done, we're selling, ladies and gentlemen. You've told me no before, and you've come back in before at 51. How about another 500, sir? We're just liaising. Everybody's pulling out bills from their back pocket just to support another 500. Yeah, 51,500. We're at Silver Scrapes now. 51,500. Now I would go straight to 555 just to kill it. At 551,500. 552. Yeah, another 500 on top. What do you say, guys? At 552. At 552 now. Happy to see you guys back in for another 500 as well. Wouldn't say no to that. At 552, we're in the market and selling. At 552, at the back end of the auction now, any bid goes. At 552. 554. 54. All right, this guy's the boss. 554. I'm taking the bigger bid anyways. 554. Would you like to go 55? 55. Great bid. At 555. I'm listening to you, by the way. You give me better bids than him. 55. 55, yep, we've already got it there. 555. I'll give you some time as well. How are we going out this way? At 555, we're definitely out. Now, fun fact for you guys, by the way. A bit of tails and auctioneer, 3 to 7 times that we're out before the truly out. You guys are probably at 3 and 4 now. So I've got 3 more to go from you guys. At $555,000 across the road. At 555, and we can do 500 on top as well if you'd like. At $555,000 across the road. And thank you very much for your patience. How are we going over there? I'm seeing some discussions back there. And perhaps this is a time to remind you guys that you did take about 4 or 5 mandarins from the tree out back. That at least deserves the one last bit at the back end of the auction. At $555,000, Jazz surely does have some magic words as well. So don't count them out just yet. Do exactly as you've been doing so far and bidding back quickly as soon as another bid comes. At 555, the bid, Jazz needs to know instructions. At this point in time, our bidders are waiting and running out of patience. Need to know the final instructions out this way, ladies and gentlemen. 555's the bid. Need to know we're still having conversations. We'll give them just a little bit more time. I do thank you very much for your patience. I think we're almost there. 550. Oh, I would have taken the 67. 557. We almost got a $12,000 bid, but it's 557. Yeah, it would have been a good bid, wouldn't it? Yeah, another 500 on top. Yeah, 557, 500. You guys were the guys that introduced the $500 bid, so you've only got yourselves to blame. At 557, 500. 559. And we're getting to that point in time where we could have just taken the 67 bid anyways, 567, but at 559. Another 500. He loves this, by the way. At 559, 500. Another 500, 560. Another 500. Another 61, 500. 62. 62 and a half. 62 now. At 62. 62 and a half. 63. 63. At this stage, he's just got his hand raised like this. 63. 63. 563. 64. 64, 500. 64, 500. Now, the conversation at this point in time shouldn't be about how much is it worth and how about this guy's pissed me off so much, I'm just going to make him pay another 500. Just for the shits and gigs. I shouldn't say that. 64, 500, wasn't it? 64, 500. 564, 500. 65 and 500. 65, 500. And we could have just done that $12,000 bid from the start. 65, 500. 65, 500. And I did say to you guys that that would have been a really good bid if he just went straight to 67. It might have actually rattled you guys a little bit. 60. Yeah, that's right. At 65, 500, you would have given him a bit more respect. Gone, he's a bit crazy. At 65, 500. What do we say? 66? 67. 567. 67, 500. 567, 570, and great bid. 570. 70 and a half. 570 and a half. At 570 and a half. At 570 and a half. Taking out the phone. That's a universal signal that we've got one more bid to go. At 570 and a half. Maybe. I'm always willing to be surprised, by the way. At 570 and a half across the road. At 570 and a half. Now it suggests if we're going to fight fire with fire, we do those $500 bids quickly, just as we're seeing across the road. At 570 and 500. We're going to wait a little bit. He keeps surprising me. At 570, 500, I thank you very much for your patience. By the way, I would do the exact same thing for you if I was calling the auction for your very own property. At 570, 500, guys. 572. At 572, 500. 572, 500. And you should have known that was coming at 572, 500. Let me call the government. 5.5% here. 572, 500. Not first home buyers. It looks young, but he's got many properties apparently. At 572, 500. He's still thinking at 572, 500. I'm going to give you a bit of space, mental clarity. 572, 500. Still having some conversations. I do thank you very much for your patience. Once they tell me they're out, they're absolutely done. We're counting it very quickly. We're all done over here, I'd imagine. We're long past that point now. The ship has well and truly sailed now at 572, 500. And Jazz, maybe perhaps if you need to have a final word as well, just check how we're going out there at 572, 500. Our phone bid is well and truly out as well. I thank you very much for your participation. I thank you guys, by the way, for your bidding as well earlier into the auction at 572, 500. Final call now. 575. At 575. That's a $2,500 bid. And that's the first time I've seen you slow down just a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to give you the same courtesy and respect at the time that they've taken to make their bids as well. At 575 now. At 575, 500. At 575, 500. 577. At 577. 577, 500. At 577 and a half now. We're going to go straight to 580 at 577 and a half. And I welcome you back in at 577 and a half, still in the lead now, and good luck at 577 and a half. 579, great bid at 579. What would you like to do at 579 now? You can take the time if you need it. We are on the market and selling any space and time that you need. At 579 now, they're going to take a little bit of time, which is great news for you, by the way, at 579. Also, do expect more bidding coming your way as well at 579. Just because they're having that conversation, they may be strategizing a bit of a bigger bid too. So be prepared for that 579 at this point in time, and you do need to be patient just because we've given you the time. 579 and a half now. 580, a great bid. The shoe's on the other foot now. The momentum is well and truly swung. At 580 now. At $580,000, another 500. 580 and a half. 580 and a half now. At 580 and a half. 580, and by the way, I must remind you, if you are thinking about selling by way of auction, look at the team at Jazz Real Estate here. 580 and a half the bid. If you are thinking, make sure to speak to Jazz or Sonam. They'll happily recreate this for you here. 3 active bidders, an incredible result here in Werribee. At 580 and a half in the lead across the road at 580 and a half. Need to know, guys, we've had this discussion many, many times before at 580 and a half, and I still thank you very much for your patience. You could take a little bit more time just to stick it to them and what they're doing at 580 and a half. They may be coming back for a little bit more, but I need to know final response from you guys here. We are selling, no better bidder offer. We are on the market. 582. 582 now. And great bidding at 582. Should we go another 500 on top? Another 500 on top, 582 and a half. At 582 and a half. We've got you to thank for the $500 bids as well. 582 and a half. 582 and a half across the road, yes. 582 and a half. I love the way that we're rationalizing all these things. 582 and a half. All the time that we spend coming down for you here at 582 is to not buy the property. Could you imagine? At 582 and a half. At 582 now and a half now. I need to know, guys, we're too happy to be discussing whether or not we're going to be bidding anymore. I need to know. We're going to count it 3 times now. What do we say? 582, 500 across the road. Counting it 3 times. Need to know your bid. Another 500, yes? 583. 583 and a half. 583 and a half. 583 and a half. Endless pockets, by the way. At 583.5. At 583.5. At 583.5. The social proof and validation here that somebody else wants it is what drives the property results up and up. Here at 583.5, a beautiful home like this in a prime location. 250, yeah? 583, 750. 84, yes? 584. We're taking out the cash. 584. 584. 584. We're done. We're taking out all the cash. 584 now. It's not your money, it's the bank's money. 585. 585. Let him have it. 585. Yeah. 585, 250. We're done. Are you sure? We're going to congratulate the new owners here. And what a marathon of an auction here. Just to end it like that, we're going to call it timeouts. At 585, 250. Selling no better, better offer. Reminding you, we are on the market. We sell to the highest bidder. You tell me you're out. We're done. At 585, 250. Just make sure that that's absolute yes, because you don't have any second chances. No late bids or offer. It's going to call it 3 times down. I will remind everybody who's still here and still with us. If you are thinking about selling your home by way of auction, Jazz, Sonam, and the whole entire team will recreate this for you at your very own home at 585, 250, not 500, 250. We're calling it quits now at this very last moment here. I'm going to call it 3 times now. We need to know your final response because you're still having a chat. Calling it 3 times now. First call at 585, 250. Second call at 585, 250. Third and final time. Are we all done? Are we all finished? We're all silent. Rates are coming down faster than you can pay more. At 585, 250, one last opportunity. We're selling to our new owners, ladies and gentlemen. Unless 586. Where have you been this whole time? 586. Are you sure? These guys are at 585, 250. You're at 586. 586. You've watched this whole entire time. At 586. 586, 250. 586, 250. 586, 250. We're not in Sydney here, guys. Don't need to register. 586, 250. You got the money? You pay it, you sign the contract. 586, 250. That's you guys. 586, 250. At 586, 250 now, sir. What would you like to do? Another 500? 586, 750. 587 now. 587. And $587,000. I hope you didn't think it was going to be that easy. 587. And 587 has brought you a little bit more time at 587, and great bidding, by the way, at 587. Perhaps I need to do one of these too to grab another bid from you. 587, what do we say? At $587,000, we're going to sell no better, better offer. Another bid? 588? 588, oh my God, 588. 588, 250. At 588, 250, we've subbed in for each other. 588, 250, you've been here from the very start. 588, 250. 588, 750. He thinks it's funny. 89. Let's go straight to 600. 589 now. 589. And guys, we're definitely done. Now you guys are sitting back relaxing. 589, that's where all the money's at. I'm going to be like him too. 589. 589, 500. 589, 750. At 589, 750. Oh, at 589, 750. 589, 750 now, sir. Whatever you've got displayed on the phone, that's bringing out more money. I've got to download the same app as you. 589, 750. 590. Great bid. 250. That's the default bid now, isn't it? Yep. 590, 250. Every time you do this, it's 250, okay? Let me know if there's anything different. 590, 250. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you guys to bid. Another 250. Another 250. 750. 590, 750. 590 and 3/4. 590. I've never seen somebody so relaxed and jovial at an auction before. 591, 250. 591, 250. It's great when you're not in the limelight, isn't it? 500, 750. 591, 750. 591, 750. 591, 750. At 591, 792. You guys are going to miss your flight back home to Sydney. At 592, 250. 592, 250. 592, 250. At 592, 250. You're out of paper. 250. 592, 250. 592 and a half. 592 and a half. Maybe you just write on the back of this now, huh? 592, 250. Sorry, 500. Yeah, 592, 500. Multitasking, no good at it. 592, 500. 592, 500. Whatever this guy's scrolling through on his phone is just digging out more money. 592, 500. 592, 500. 593, you've just typed that into his bank account, so he's just got more money, right? At 593, 250. 593, 250. At 593, 250. 593, 250. If I stop saying the number, I'm going to forget it. 593, 250. Yeah, I had all the funny words before, and now I've just stopped. That's right. The brain is really working hard. You guys are just going to put your hand up. At 593, 250, it's the auctioneer's job to remember how much. At 593, 250. And by the way, I've had stranger increments before. I've had 666, 688, 888, and all this kind of stuff. If anything, you make it easier for me. 593, 250. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. At 593, 250. 593, 250. Jazz, how are we going out there? Yeah, it is. It is a very long auction. I haven't kept track, but I might be late for the next one. Yeah, I'd love it. I did have an auction where somebody brought out a chair and said, hey, you might want to have a sit down. 593. It's a fixed. Do you want to announce it? I can give you the microphone quickly. Yep. There is a fixed term lease until August, in case anybody is wondering at this stage. Like we haven't already overcommitted. And we're in it at this stage. Yep. Yep, so you guys already know about it, yep. Doesn't matter, we're still buying it. 593, 250. Exactly, it's already taken care of it. Yeah. 593, 250. Exactly, that's next year's problem. 593, 250. Jazz, how are we going out there, by the way? 593, 250. 593, 250, yeah. Yeah, 300. And then we can do that. Then we can do the hundreds from there. 593, 250. I can't imagine how many more words and encouraging words and whatever it is, motivational words you've got. It's a good thing I keep repeating it. 593, 250. Yeah. 593. I don't know what calculations are happening at this stage of the auction, but it better be fruitful. Jazz, need to know. At this stage, we've waited a little bit quite too long. I think it's about time we start calling it down. Jazz, come on, we need to know. Let's pull out the knockout bid line. We're done at 593, 250. And by the way, again, the 250 bid. I actually thought it was going to be another bid. 593, 250, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to be quick about it. We've dragged it on long enough. Let's all put our hands together. We are selling. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sold. Congratulations and well bid, well bought, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all your attendance. Commiserations, of course, to all of our underbidders on behalf of the team at Jazz Real Estate. Please have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.